Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, fellow members and most welcome guests, in 2 days' time, all of us in this room could witness one of the greatest historical events of the 21st century. In our old age, we may all tell our grandchildren, I remember the day the United Kingdom ceased to exist. I remember the day Britain became a memory. I remember the day we became a footnote, an irrelevancy, and a faded memory. For in 2 days' time, if Scotland votes yes, this country will be no more. The United Kingdom, one of the most successful nations on earth and the most successful union of nations, will be consigned to the scrap heap of history. Why does this matter, I can hear you say? Well, as is always the case, the keys to the present lie in the past. Once upon a time, hardy sailors coming from far away came across an archipelago that would be named after its original Celtic inhabitants, the Pridons. This archipelago was for centuries a mere playground, to be used and readied at will by more powerful dominions lying over the seas and far away. Racked by disunity, it was outclassed by more powerful rival, in danger of becoming an irrelevancy, or a mere appendage, or a more powerful empire. And yet, the Acts of Union of May 1707 would change that, bringing unity where division once stood. Two kingdoms of England and Scotland would now be one, and while each would keep its own law, its own banknote, and its own distinctiveness, and perhaps one could even argue their own languages, they would fuse their energies together and unleash them upon the world. No more would the windswept archipelago fall victim to raiders and plunderers, for it would be safely kept behind the wooden wall of its ship, bearing the Union Jacks. From the universities and salon of this sceptred isle, a new idea, a new light even would arise, a light whose embers would set ablaze the mighty torches of freedom, liberty, and unity that would go on to enlighten the entire world. Together, the thinkers and engineers of the land would tinker with its very substance and unleash an industrial revolution. From a small town on the muddy estuary, Glasgow became a metropolis and the second largest city in the British Empire. A city from whose factories, mills and shipyards a cornucopia of goods and products would aim, like the mighty steamship that would sail against the wind, bearing the jack of the largest trading nation in the world. Together, explorers and soldiers from all corners of the isle would map the world and turn terra incognita into a footnote on its books. Powered by the twin flames of liberty and ingenuity, the small island was now a world-spanning empire. An empire that would stand tall against its enemies and defeat them all, as laddies from Dundee, Ipswich and Cardiff fought together side by side to defeat our enemies, including the devil itself, in war that would engulf the entire world and decide the fate of empire. Many years on, it is easy to forget the past and to forget its relevance into today. Especially as the starkness of the errors of our recent past are staring at us right in our face. The once revolutionary factory that powered an empire are fallen silent and are covered in weeds. The once mighty nation seems to have lost its way, bereft of a role to play, cast adrift in seas of uncertainties. For after all, if Britain wasn't meant to last forever, why not throw it away and consign it to the scrap heap of history? Why not, indeed? We may have lost an empire and not yet found a role, but we built one nation together and countless institutions. I could think of the great banking houses whose proud North British route stretched out to this great city of London and would building them into trees that would go on, take over the entire world, of the shared solidarity that unites us and knows no boundary from Islay to the Medway estuary. But more importantly, of a certain je ne sais quoi that is a mélange of tradition and innovation, a certain je ne sais quoi that 9 years ago, when I stepped off the train, made me dream, and still makes me dream. For after all, the burning energy that once powered us to achieve extraordinary things merely lies dormant. The recent past hasn't been kind to us. Wrong decisions have been made. But it is still within our power to change this and to repair what has been broken. For we must not forget that it wasn't our empire that made us great. It was the revolution, both philosophical and material, that we unleashed in the Stretredal, in our salon, in our mills, in our yard. It is we, the British people, that make this nation great, because we dared to believe in ourselves, and to forget that whatever petty differences divided us could be cast aside and united towards common goals and objectives. Clydeside may have fallen silent, bereft of jobs and of hope. But I've lived up in the north, and I'll tell you one thing. These same feelings of despair and hopelessness exist in Merseyside, in Teesside, and in Tyneside as well. The cogs and wheels that make up our nation may be disjointed, but we have the power to realign them. We have the power to choose our own future. Our history proved that when we believed in ourselves and stood by each other, brother with brother, we achieved extraordinary things. So let us therefore unite our energies once again and achieve extraordinary things. Let us look outwards at the stars of the obsidian night and aim right at them. For after all, there lies mankind's future. We cannot stay in this bloody cradle forever, can't we? So let us spirit it, just like our explorer once sailed across the 7 seas of the globe. Let us enhance the thread that makes up our society and be extremely bold in doing so. For the only thing that stands in the way of the abolition of misery in this country is the complexity and the disunity that came along with looking at each other, not as brothers and as fellow citizens of Britain, but as mob members of separate groups. All seas and soil from the Shetlands to the Falklands are blessed with numerous resources that few countries can have. I consist of this great city of London for a start. A mere funnel in waiting to channel money from all over the globe into our common British home. But the greatest of these resources is, of course, us, the British people, both the native and the adopted sons of Daughter and Britannia, of which I am one. I was born a Frenchman, but let me tell you one thing, I hope to die a Briton. Let us consequently do the most noble act mankind can do, putting one stone atop another, and build. Build a better Britain from the Highland glens to the Anglian fens, whose cogs and wheel will spin in unison once again. Let us tell our grandchildren in many years hence, I remember the days in which we built a better Britain. I remember the days in which we refused to become part of history. I remember the days in which we refused to let petty division between the English, the Scots, the Irish and the Welsh, and the numerous people that came from all over the globe and decided to make Britain their home, overpower what we have in common. For together, ladies and gentlemen, we have the power to build a better and a greater Britain by believing in it. So on Thursday, I will be phoning my friends in Scotland tomorrow. Let's all do so. And let's say no to division, for we are stronger and better together. Thank you.